Hey, visionaries! You are now tuned in to the Starts with a Vision podcast, where everything you do in life starts with a vision. If your vision is clear or foggy, you are in the right place. It's time to go take what's yours, because there's a vision only you can see, and a dream only you can dream. And now, your host, Mr. Starts with a Vision.
What is going on, y'all? It is Isaiah Fowler, a.k.a. Mr. Starts with a Vision, Mr. SWAV, man. Let me say thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your attention, man. We got a dope episode today. I'm really going to hop right into the content because I don't want you to ever get your time wasted. And I want to be able to bring you impactful information, knowledge, content that's going to change your life forever, and it's going to change your life for the better. And you know that just rhyme, right? It's going to change your life forever, and it's going to change your life for the better. So with that being said, we're going to hop into the quote of the day really quick. If you are looking to start a podcast, right, the landscape is changing. If you want to start a podcast, shoot me a text message at 678-841-7928, and we will definitely make that happen. So, with that being said, the quote of today's day, the quote of the day, it goes like this. The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. Whoo. I'm going to say it one more time. The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. That's by Peter Drucker. So if you don't know who Peter Drucker is, I need you to look him up because he's like classic, right? He's kind of like, he's like on the level of like, what's those guys' names? I forget the men who made America, right? Dale Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie, those kind of guys. He is maybe a little bit younger than them, but he is a classic person to learn from. He's one of the godfathers of like knowledge and information. A lot of times people say, you need to go read the book by Peter Drucker. That's how, that's the kind of level that he's on and he's at. So, this concept is very interesting and it's very important because the most important thing in communication, it is hearing what isn't said. And here's why. If you were to ask someone, let's just say you're at a car shop and you're getting your car fixed. And so you ask them, hey, ask them a question. Let's just say you ask them, what is wrong with my car? And then you were to say, or that person says, you know what? This is what's going on with your car. I'm doing this, and this to see. And it may be the brakes or it may be, the radiator, man. But, we may need to keep this for a couple days. And it may be, $800. I'm not sure. They just said a whole bunch of nothing. Think about it. They did not answer what is wrong with your car. They could have simply said, not sure yet. I will let you know once I find out. But they gave you this whole runaround story. And now you're even more confused than before. Now, let me ask you this. How often has that happened to you already in your life? How often or how many times has that happened to you in your entrepreneurial career? That has happened so many times to me when I didn't, know any better and when I wasn't able to recognize it. But now I need you to think about it. But now, definitely, it is very important to understand and to know what people haven't said. When you realize what they haven't said, you will realize what they're trying to say or what their true answer is to your question. So, if you are looking to find out some information to somebody, ask them a direct question. And if they don't answer directly, you know for a fact what the real answer is. So that is a quote of the day, and that is a lot. That's some knowledge right there. So please know that, understand it, and we're going to be good to go with that. So the topic of the day, what's more important, education or experience? I'm going to ask that again, and I want you to think about it first. What's more important, education or experience? I think this is great. I think this is amazing because I want you to think about this. Seems, when you think about education, there's a few pros and cons of it or whatever, but I'm going to, talk about the pros of each and the cons of each. And so we're going to start off with education. With education, it seems safer. It's more comfortable, it's more accepted, and it's more quote unquote proven. Okay. You may still be a little bit nervous after you learn what you need to learn, and you don't know if it's true, truly. So I want you guys to think about this. You go to school, you get a degree. Now you go into the real world, and then what? You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going down. But you went and got education. You got education. You don't really have too much life experience yet, right? You're just entering the real world. You haven't really paid bills like that. You don't have any real bills yet. Haven't been married yet. And I'm talking about the person who, went to college straight out of high school, 4 years and done type stuff. Or maybe they went to go get their master's, whatever it is, right? But think about that. So this is what education gets you. You don't really know if this education is real, and we're speaking about school right now. But even entrepreneurship, you go to school, they may have an entrepreneurship class, but you don't know the person that's teaching you is, credible. You don't know that because they're teaching an entrepreneurship class. Do they have a business? Are they an entrepreneur? Are they a current entrepreneur? Do they know what entrepreneurs go through? These are all the things that need to be thought about. These are all the things that need to be thought about. And I want you to think about that. Very, very, very important. So, and that is the education side of things. Now, the experience side of things, it is a little bit more risky. You're facing the unknown. It will hurt. That's a guarantee. First, you're going to get firsthand knowledge, and you're going to have increased confidence. Now, the downside of going straight for experience, you're still getting an education. And that's the thing. You're not getting experience from education, but you're getting an education from your experience. So me personally, I would rather go for experience over education for that reason right there. When you experience something, firsthand what to do, how to do it, why not to do it, when to do it, the reason of doing it, all of that stuff. But when you are learning something, through the books, through education, you still have a lot of questions. That's why in science class, they have a lot of labs, right, and practicals. Because yes, you got your education and you learn, but at the same time, you need to learn a little bit more, right? And you need to learn from the perspective of doing and not just learning and reading, through a book. Until you do something, you don't truly know what to do, how to do it, etc., etc. I want you to think about it. You can read a book and watch a YouTube video on how to shoot a basketball. But until you grab that basketball, you go to that court and you shoot, you will not know how to shoot. Because when you acquire information and or education, it all is relative to the person teaching it. And when you're learning something from the person teaching it, they're teaching it from their perspective and kind of how it works for them and how they interpret it. But somebody could teach me how to shoot a basketball, and my form may be a little bit different. So I need to learn how to adjust. I hope this is making sense for you. So it's very important to know and understand, the pros and cons of education versus experience. But me personally, I will take experience any day because experience will give you an education that education itself could never give you. And that's the importance. You have to couple, education and experience together. And once you couple these two things together, you will be so well off and you will be so much more confident in what you do. And I want you to think about it. If you've ever been through anything, when you have been through it, you have so much more confidence. And why do you have so much more confidence? Because you've gone through it and you didn't just learn about it. So you know firsthand what you've been through. You have the scars to prove it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you can, read a book about how hot a burning stove is, right? But until you put your hand on it and you know exactly how hot it is and what it feels like and the pain after, you won't really know. So experience is so much more important, in my opinion, than education, because it gives you the actual education that you need to move further and advance in your life. So with that being said, guys, that is today's episode. I want you to shoot me a text message at 678-841-7928 if you are interested in starting a podcast, because we are going to work together and we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen for your business and for your brand. So with that being said, I'm going to talk to you guys on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Starts with a Vision podcast. Come get your vision clear at www.startswithavision.com. See you there.